I'm Lauren, and this is Improving the World. I'm an international improviser based in Hong Kong, and I speak with amazing women all over the world who do improv. Today, I speak with Kasia Chmara, aka Kasia. She's from a place in Poland that I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. She is doing a PhD in acting and focusing on using improv to do scripted characters, and we talk about the listening and the voice of improv and performance. I hope you enjoy. Kasia, you are an actress and improviser, and right now you are doing a PhD in acting, specifically using improv to derive scripted characters. As an actor and a teacher, voice, why is it so important? What do you think?
First of all, you need to be heard by audience. This is very important. And I always love this expression through your voice because our voice is so unique. And when we use our voice in normal conversation, it's always our voice have a double meaning, and how we give the phrase to somebody, even type of question or answering the question. It's always kind of double meaning, and always our sentence have a few layers. I love it. Unfold these layers and dig and find out what is behind this normal word, but with lots of meanings.
So we're talking about everything from literally saying words to being articulate and making sure that we are understood. But as you said, the layering behind it of what I'm trying to get across in my intention. When you're focusing on this topic, what do you find people usually stumble on? What are the challenges or the things that aren't clicking for performers, whether they're actors or improvisers?
First of all, for me, voice needs to be connected with your body. And this is lots of diaphragm work and super technical practice to be aware our body fully resonate. And actually each part of our body can resonate. From Grotowski's student's technique, our body also can be a chair or can be a wood who is cut, and our body also have this resonated voices. What I'm spotting when I'm observing is people sometimes don't really care about the voice. Fantastic improv. I really like what they're doing on the stage, but I can't really hear them. I can't really understand because the articulation is very bad. Lately, when I'm watching TV or some movies, especially in Polish language, the young actors just mumbling. I can't even understand. That's kind of, natural acting.
You are talking to me right now because this is an ongoing battle in my household. I like to watch with the subtitles on because I desperately don't want to miss a word. And I feel like if I get to the end of the story and I missed something, then I'll miss the whole journey. Oh, it was the aunt who stabbed the thing in the back and that. So I constantly need the subtitles, and to close off the battle, I got my hearing tested and I have fantastic hearing. Articulation, the way that someone talks and says something, whether or not they're speaking slowly or quickly or quiet or loud, it's about being clear. Yes, I bow to you, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are lots of techniques, and we can practice that every day. When you're even very busy and you're just driving to your work, you can do some short, very easy warm-up. Of course, it looks silly when someone passes you on the car, but even the simple this, it's super easy, and you warm up. Like in gym, we warm up our body to start practicing and to start exercise, to be fit. And why not to warm up our face, our tongue, to be fit all the time?
So that's the literal talking. I just need you to hear me say, I want a glass of water, right? So that's just the words. But then what about the layers you were talking about, the meaning and the emotion behind it? I could say anything to you, but that doesn't mean I'm a great actor. It doesn't mean just because I knew the words and I said them and you heard me that I meant anything. So how do you move beyond just saying words into a place where you're projecting intention and you are expressing more than the words?
Each part of us is connected together. So when I see someone who don't believe in your own character, his body is lying, his voice is lying. The meaning and sound of the voice, it's not believable. Even when I watch the real theater, script theater, I can see which actor is an actor who played this character, or I can see character, not actor behind. I love this kind of acting, and I love also see that in improv, that people diving deep, especially in a long form. In a long form, you actually can do it. And it's beautiful when I see improviser who really believe in your own character, not only this fantastic improviser playing this character. It's again connected to emotion and the truth as a character.
Yeah.
If I, as a character, believe what I'm saying, my words are well articulate and I know what I want to say and I can be heard by the audience. So it's like physical ability, because if you not practice a lot, your muscles are not so strong. So you need to practice that, of course. As every musician, you need to practice every day, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do.
So I'm hearing you say that it's really about the self-ownership of the belief, the individual believing, knowing, as well as practicing and spending time and energy working on the skill set.
Absolutely, yes. And as Stanislavski said, you can also work in your character from inside to outside or from outside to inside. In improvisation world, it's exactly the same. But the beautiful thing is also you have your partner who helping you to be truthful and to express your emotional character and express your voice and
I think
express
that's actually important that you say that, because it is not a solo piece of work that you're doing when you're improvising. As much as your contribution is important, it is equally as important as everyone else's, because it's a group art form. So this idea that you are not solely responsible for your character is interesting to me, because you need everyone to also suspend their belief. And we need them to agree that you are an old lady and that you're obsessed with cats, because we are improvising and there are no outfits and makeup and set. We need the other people to accept and go along on that ride with us, and they're journeying into the characters with us. It supports you, you support them, right?
Absolutely. And if, as you mentioned about the old lady and cat, if I see an improviser who just pretend to pet the cat but not believe in this, for me it's only literature, like words in the book. I can read it and I can't see it. But the most important thing for improvisers, for actors, is to take the audience with our imaginary words.
Yeah.
And make them believe. They know it. It's just, it's nothing. It's just normal chair. But when we tell them or act, this is an antique chair with very soft cushion. And when we act, they start believing this. And they don't care. It's just normal chair. We're taking them in our world. And this is beauty of theater.
We're talking about the voice a lot. I want to shift and talk about listening. As much as we are focusing on what it is that we are projecting and saying and expressing through the voice, we're talking about this character work and this dual progression through the scene together with your scene partner or partners. I always say that improv is a selection of relationships, right? I have a relationship with my other players, me, Lauren, and the other players. Me, the character, the old lady, and the person who's playing the other old lady. That's a relationship. And then also my relationship with the audience and so on. So you're navigating multiple simultaneous relationships. Talk to me, Kasia, about how listening fits into this context. If you're working on the projection and the voice, I think that's only half of it. How does the listening fit into this from your perspective?
It's very important. First of all, I need to say, when I finish my school and I do some workshop after in acting department, I realized that schools doesn't teach how to listen. Actors don't know how to listen. They just focus on the line with the script and how to deliver this line. And this is upsetting because they not listen to the partner. They just listen to the end of their sentence and then
waiting for the cue.
Waiting for it. Yeah, absolutely. And what's really is important to listen to your partner and hear what kind of meaning and what kind of even volume and expression and emotional baggage have this sentence, how I'm as a character react for that, what it's doing to me, to myself as a character. Then take from that experience to deliver my answer, my truly emotional deliver package to my partner.
You're very aptly pointing out that many people are waiting to give their piece. Conversation works like that too. Something as simple in improv as a one-word story where we are only reacting to what has just happened rather than just waiting for my part to say my piece. How did it become something that you were aware of, this idea that we were just waiting and that we're not really listening and we're leaving out this why in this context?
I was playing a 150-time show. I liked every day when I was playing, I liked change something because I thought dig more in your character and I like to grow with this whole show. And I realized every time I change the line or I change the emotional baggage slightly, I can hear exactly the same answer, exactly the same line, exactly the same melody, exactly the same eyes. Or even when they shocked for a moment and they're forgetting their own line, which means I just kick them from their own balance. And in improv, you always need to be open for that because every second we are balancing of the very tiny line, and this is beautiful. This is a real connection between two actors on the stage. This is the most believable for audience. I'm not talking now real life on the stage because I also like when improv theater it's a little bit not realistic because we are not coming to the theater to see a real life. We have that every day.
We want to see the weird day, the different day.
Yes, we want to see this magic.
Yeah.
And that's why we are here to create that magic. So why we are such a robot sometimes, I'm talking about script theater, that it's like blah, 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 blah. And I can see even when he is passionate or she is passionate what she's saying, but here she have a shopping list. Okay, I need to buy this, 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 this. I can see this on their eyes. The eyes are empty. And I love when in improv, when you see your partner eyes, I can see it's something there. Even when they're struggling, when they don't know what to say, but the body is not lying. And this is beauty because they processing, they actually get my sentence and they have to figure out, whoa, what it's doing to me, to my character. And I love this moment. This is
It's so interesting to hear you talk from an acting perspective. I've been doing improv for a billion years now. I recently started doing a little bit of acting, and it is so terrifying to me for exactly the reasons that you're talking about, because the agility that improv asks you for and demands you to deliver, listening to each other, navigating the scene, the relationships I talked about, I find now very second nature and I enjoy it. So to go into a landscape of doing theater where you have to have scripted dialogue and then be agile on top of that, I actually find harder. For many people, they think that improv is harder because there's no script. But for me, you can do anything and say anything, failing is success, right? But for me, with scripted theater, you now have to go through the laundry list of the words. And then on top of that, layer on the emotion and the intention and the listening, and then any agility, right? So I was doing an outdoor show recently, and the park staff came and started collecting the garbage bins behind us in the middle of the performance. For me, as an actor, I was like, bah! And you'd think as an improviser, I would just roll with the punches, but I for sure had to have this moment of, oh my God, is that really happening? How do I react to this? How do I do that? Keep doing the lines, keep being present. But the improv really helps. And for me was something that I was able to leverage and a lot of my little Batwoman tool belt, like, okay, right. You said that you see people on stage and you're like, that's Lauren, and she's portraying a woman who loves cats, not that's a lady who loves cats. So talk to me about that disconnect.
When I build my characters, I love changing my body centers because each of us have a body center when we walk, when we talk, when we act. But just slightly think when, for example, your body center is completely in different part of your body or even outside of your body. You suddenly act completely different. You're moving different. You start talking different because you are not yourself. So I like play with that, practice with that a lot because then it becomes natural. They can say, okay, my center now is in my nose. So I'm completely talking differently because now I think my nose is leading me and be a completely different character. I believe in this and I forgot about my own Kasia. Now I'm becoming something else, but I also have to believe in that character, believe in this center. This is one of my techniques that I love. You need to bring this super emotional baggage for that, because when we are just shallow, audience can feel that. You really need to dig deep. The acting is kind of a little bit exhibitionism. Show yourself, show your real guts, blood and power. But this is about truthful as a character. I love watching that on stage.
What are your words of wisdom? If you could speak to your improv peers, people who've never tried improv before and are curious, or the younger version of you, what would you say are your words of wisdom?
Don't be afraid to be emotional, be truthful, and really try to connect your body with your brain. I know sometimes it's difficult. I have a son who is a teenager and this is kind of unconnected totally at the moment. But really work on yourself, work on your skills, practice your volume, resonate technique and articulation. Help a lot, like a fitness for your voice. And don't be afraid to make mistakes because we are only humans. Don't blame yourself that it's not good enough. Of course, not now, but maybe in a few years, maybe tomorrow, who knows? Don't punish yourself so hard.
I think that's definitely words that are wise. And if people want to come and find you in Poland to watch a show, talk to you about your PhD or the voice and the listening and how it all fits together, generally throw money at you, how can they find you?
I have a Facebook kind of page. It's Improv Art. And also you can find me as Kasia Chmara on my Facebook. On Instagram is a Chmara Improv. I'm in a various groups, not only Polish, but also European ones. So my groups are wymyWammy. This is from Bydgoszcz, from which is Impro Attack. I'm also part of duo Two Sisters, also part of Irish and Polish duo Which is Which with Orla McGovern. I'm also part of ensemble 7 Women of Different Ages. I'm also part of a group called Ohanaimpro, which is a big European coalition. I'm not sure if I forgot about something, but I think it's a lot of them, and it's still going on. And I'm also in international Project Eve, connected with women around the world. And I'm still working and looking for some more opportunities to work with the people from around the world.
Yeah, I feel like you're not doing enough. If I could give you some feedback, I would say like, do more. You're definitely not doing enough.
I don't like to sit on my bum and do sweet nothing.
Well, thank you so very much for your time. I really appreciate it. It was gorgeous speaking with you.
Likewise.
No, thanks. And thank you all for watching. This is Improving the World, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
So, did you love that? If you did, please say kind and wonderful things in the comments below and subscribe if you're feeling sassy. And look for more Improving the World. Thank you.